thousands. I spent the last 30 days testing 10 different side hustles. Every single one of them promised decent returns, flexibility, thousands, and so-called easy money. But here's what most of those videos and blog posts don't tell you: not all side hustles are created equal. Some will burn your time with pennies, thousands. Others might genuinely change your income trajectory. I tracked every dollar I made and lost, and this is exactly how it played out: thousands. The first hustle I started with was freelance writing. I already had basic writing skills, so I signed up on Upwork and Fiverr. I spent the first few days building my profile, thousands, creating gig packages and cold pitching clients. By day 5, I landed my first job. I to write an article about digital marketing. It took 3 hours and thousands, and I honestly underpriced myself. But by the end of the month, I had 4 repeat clients and made $460. The real challenge wasn't writing, it was building trust and speed, thousands. This one worked, but it took patience and consistent outreach. Next up was reselling items on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. I went to garage sales, thrift stores, thousands, and even browsed Craigslist free listings. I found a used Vitamix blender for $25 and flipped it for $120. That was a high point, thousands. I also bought a pair of vintage Nikes for $15 and sold them for $7. But I also made mistakes. I bought a broken DVD player for $10 thinking it worked, and it ended up being trash. After accounting for gas, time, and a couple losses, I netted the $312. The trick here is knowing what sells fast. Electronic sneakers and kitchen gear, those moved quickly. Clothes, thousands. Not so much. For hustle number 3, I tried delivering food for DoorDash and Uber Eats. I live in a city, so I figured I could capitalize on high demand hours. Thousands. I worked dinner shifts, especially Fridays and weekends. The earnings were decent at first, 18 to 22 per hour, but once you factor in gas mileage and vehicle wear, thousands. My net hourly rate dropped closer to 13. I made $538 total in 30 days, but it came at the cost of long hours and wear on my car. It's reliable if you need fast cash, thousands, but it's not scalable. Then I tested online tutoring. I signed up for Wisent and Cambly. I also reached out to local parents through Facebook groups. Thousands. I started offering basic English tutoring and SAT prep. Since I had some past experience, I charged at $25 per hour. This hustle quickly turned out to be one of the most lucrative, thousands. In just 5 sessions, I made $225, and most of those students wanted to continue beyond the trial month. If you have any academic strengths or specialized skills, thousands. Tutoring can be surprisingly profitable. Bonus, it's remote and low overhead. Hustle number 5 was a complete curveball. Print-on-demand t-shirts through Etsy and Redbubble. Thousands. I used Canva to design basic motivational quotes, memes, and minimalist art. It took me 2 days to upload 25 designs. I marketed a bit on Instagram and TikTok, but the results were underwhelming. I sold 6 shirts in total. Profit per shirt was about $6 by lady, netting me $40.8 for the month. Honestly, thousands. Unless you already have an audience or viral designs, this is a long game. The margins are small and competition is brutal. Not a total failure, but definitely not quick cash, thousands. By this point, I was getting experimental. I tried flipping domain names, buying cheap domains and listing them for resale. Thousands. I spent $120 buying 10 domains I thought were trendy or brandable. Think AI, crypto, health trends, but none of them sold during the 30-day window, 0 revenue, thousands. So I ended up $120 in the red. The domain flipping business is real, but it's speculative and very hit or miss unless you know the market well. For me, thousands. This one was a financial loss and a wake-up call. One of the more passive hustles I tested was renting out household items. I live in a neighborhood with families and DIY types, thousands. So I listed my power drill, folding tables, and projector on Fat Llama and Nextdoor. I made $85 just from a projector rental for a weekend party. My drill rented twice for $10 each, thousands. Altogether, I made $125 with 0 overhead since I already owned the stuff. It surprised me how easy it was. People don't always want to buy, they just want to borrow, thousands. If you have gear lying around, this is easy extra money. My 8th hustle was pet sitting and dog walking through Rover. I created a profile with good photos, listed my rates slightly below the local average, and got my first booking within 5 days. A 3-day cat sitting gig made me $90. 2 dog walks added another $40, thousands. 1 overnight stay brought in $70. Total adder $200 for very enjoyable work. If you like animals, this hustle is gold. You don't need certifications to get started, thousands. Just reliability and positive reviews. It also helped me meet new people in the area. Hustle number 9 was affiliate marketing through a blog and social media, thousands. I used Medium and a small Instagram account to push Amazon affiliate links tied to lifestyle and productivity tools. I published 3 blog posts, thousands, one of which got picked up in a Medium publication and started getting decent views. I earned $58.40 in affiliate commissions. While it's far from life-changing money, thousands, it was passive once the content was live. This is another long game hustle, huge potential over time but slow in the beginning without a large audience or mailing list. And finally, thousands. I tested selling digital products. I created a simple budgeting spreadsheet in Google Sheets and listed it on Gumroad for 7. I promoted it via Reddit and 2 personal finance Facebook groups. To my surprise, I got 21 downloads in the first week. That's 147 revenue, and after fees, I kept 132 thousands. Digital products are a hidden gem, one-time effort, scalable, and instant delivery. If you solve a real problem, even something small, people are willing to pay for templates, thousands, checklists, and tools. Now let's talk about the results. Out of the 10 side hustles I tested, the top 3 money makers were DoorDash, the Uber Eats, 530-day freelance writing in 46 and online tutoring, a 205. But if we factor in effort, stress, and long-term scalability, my personal ranking shifts. Thousands. Freelance writing is sustainable and has serious growth potential if I continue. Tutoring had high hourly pay with very little overhead, thousands, and selling digital products shocked me. It had the highest return on time invested. The most overrated hustle, print on demand, yes, thousands, it's passive, but so is a rock if no one picks it up. Without a strong niche marketing strategy or existing traffic, it's a brutal game. The biggest loss, domain flipping, thousands. It's not for beginners and honestly felt more like gambling. But here's the core insight, every hustle has a learning curve, thousands. The ones that made me money didn't pay off because I was lucky. They worked because I took time to research, build trust, and deliver value. There's no cheat code, thousands. You can't treat side hustles like slot machines. The effort you put in directly affects your output. If you're expecting to make thousands in a week with no skills, thousands. You'll probably end up broke and burnt out. If you're starting from zero, I recommend beginning with a hustle that builds a skill, writing, tutoring, thousands, or even digital product creation. These let you compound your efforts over time. Selling your time through gig apps works, but you're trading hours for dollars with limited upside. This experiment taught me that money flows toward leverage, thousands. The more you can separate time from income, like with digital downloads or affiliate links, the closer you get to real freedom. But leverage requires upfront work, thousands. That's what separates successful hustlers from those chasing trends. Also, don't underestimate your existing resources. I didn't spend thousands on ads or tools, thousands. I used what I had, my laptop, my voice, my time. The returns weren't massive, but they were real. More importantly, they were repeatable, thousands. 30 days wasn't enough to master all of these, but it was enough to get a feel for what works, what doesn't, and what fits my life. If I had to double down on just one, thousands, I'd focus on freelance writing and slowly build that into an agency or niche service. It's scalable, skill-based, and flexible. But your choice may be different. If you love pets, thousands, go with Rover. If you live near a college town, try tutoring. The key is to start, iterate, and adapt. This wasn't a get-rich-quick experiment. It was a get-real-fast experiment, thousands. I now know where to focus, what to ignore, and how to build momentum without burning out. If you're serious about launching a side hustle, my advice is simple: pick one, thousands. Stick with it for 30 days. Track everything, then decide. That's how you separate the real from the hype.